Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Daily Show here on Claret and Booze. My name is Gary, and today I just want to talk about transfers. Lots and lots of transfer news that seems to be coming our way at the moment. Very, very busy out there with all the rumours and the gossip, but I'm going to try and cover off what I think is actually happening. We'll start off with Onana, which is a reoccurring theme. We'll talk about a player who's looking at a surprise exit. And then we'll talk about strikers. There are a couple of strikers that we seem to be in the frame for. One is pretty obvious in Armando Broja, and I'm going to talk about the other one as well. That one's come back. So please give this show a watch, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Claret and Booze. Hit like and click the bell notification icon. So on with the show. So firstly, let's talk about Amadou Onana. So this is the giant Lille central defensive midfielder who we were linked with. We actually put a bid in for a £20 million bid, I believe, was put in for him just last week, and that was turned down flat by Lille because they said they wanted 57 to 60 million euros, which is a lot of money. Probably too much money for a 20-year-old who's relatively unproven, but nonetheless a real top talent. Anyway, David Moyes clearly thinks he's a real top talent because we've gone back and made another bid for Onana. This time we bid £25 million, or around about 30 million euros. And Lille, they said there's only one Onana we're going to get for that, and that is no Nana. So they said go away and come back with your third offer. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back. David Moyes seems fixated on this player, and you know how David Moyes gets fixated on a player, Jesse. He does that. He does that quite a lot, but clearly he knows what he wants, and it's unusual for us to go back putting in bids. But I think we're gonna go back and put in a third bid. Hopefully, the third bid will work. Hopefully, it will be in the ballpark of where Lille are not going to get everything they want, but assuming they've gone at the top end, and we're kind of somewhere in the middle at the moment. Hopefully we'll be nudging towards their price. But I'd love to see this player come in. I think he could be rock solid. And if he does come in, I think that probably signals the end of Thomas Souček, who seems to be, and I'd like to keep Thomas, unlike my brother Nick. I'd like to keep Thomas. But I'm pretty sure that if we bought Onana in and spent a load of money on him, that he would be starting. And so what would that do to Souček? And with all the Souček contract demands that are going on, thinks he's asking for $100,000 a week apparently. With all that going on, it kind of makes you wonder whether there is a future for Thomas Souček should this player come in. So on to the next story. It's around Manuel Lanzini. So Manny, he had a hot and cold season for us last year, didn't he? But everyone loves Manuel Lanzini. You can't not love him. When he's on form, he's a great player. He had probably more off days than on days last year, but again, he's got it in the locker. He's a genuinely good quality player, and there is a situation with him where he's in the last 12 months of his deal, and Besiktas in Turkey. They're interested in taking him, and the rumoured fee is in the region of 10 million. Don't know whether it must be pounds. Turkey doesn't use the euro, but anyway, around about 10 million pounds for Manuel Lanzini. I don't expect us to sell Lanzini. I think that would be really surprising if we did that at this point. I think he's someone that played a lot of games, and until we've got another number 10, i.e. Jesse, I think Lanzini is going to be an important. Even if Jesse came, he'd be an important squad player, right? It'd be absolutely critical to have more cover, and he'll be, assuming we have a nice long run in the Conference League, he'll be perfect for that. So I don't really see much sense in letting him go for 10 million quid. There is a problem, I suppose, that he could go for nothing if we keep him for until next summer. But at the same time, we do have an option to keep him for another 2 years beyond that. And I suppose the right time to make that decision would be next summer rather than now. Kind of feels like it feels like keeping him for another 3 years is quite a long time. But you never know. At the end of this season, if he's had a good season, it might be the right thing to do. Who knows? So on to strikers. Now, strikers, we've been linked with Armando Broja all the way through this window, and he didn't travel with Chelsea. There was a rumour at the beginning of the window that Thomas Tuchel wanted to take him on the Chelsea pre-season tour to take a look at him. He didn't travel, but there's now a rumour that he's going to join up with that squad at the end of the week. There's also a rumour that Chelsea are going to make us wait until the end of the transfer window before we can sign the player, which would be an absolute nightmare. I hope we go back in and put some serious money on the table, because we haven't actually made an offer for the player yet. So we haven't tested Chelsea's resolve. Apparently he wants to come to West Ham. He's a London boy. He wants to stay in London, and he's really, the West Ham move really appeals to him. So why don't we just go in there and make it happen? Why don't we test Chelsea's resolve? It would be nice to see this one wrapped up, because it could be he could turn into something quite special for us, I think. Now, the other striker link that's come back is Ben Brereton-Diaz of Blackburn. So this is the Chilean international who, had some funny backstory about being noticed on FIFA or something like that. There's some sort of reason he ended up in the Chilean national team. It's a great story, and I can't even remember the story. I'm good. But anyway, this is a guy who he had an amazing scoring record the season before last. Didn't do quite so good last season, but he was rewarded with an extended contract by Blackburn. Now whether that was to preserve their asset or it was going to be whether they wanted to make sure he didn't leave on for next to nothing, or whether they want to actually keep him, I don't know. But nonetheless, he's done really, really well in the Championship. This is a target man, a big target man, and to me, I think it might be worth a gamble, because I don't think it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I think this is going to be a less than 20 million sign-in. He's got a good record. He is a proven international. He's got a good record at international level as well. He might have had a bit of an off season last year, but I do like the fact that what appeals to me is that we would have different ways of playing, right? So you've got potentially Broja coming in. Now Broja is very much in the Arnautovic mould from what I've seen with him. He likes to run at defences. He's a very good finish, but very much he's not a target man, right? Diaz is a target man, so it gives you the option. There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a very different Premier League next year with all these five substitutions. Moyes has got to have options to change the game around, and I think even though I don't like the idea of us starting with a target man because it reminds me too much of the bad old days of Sam Allardyce, I don't mind having a target man as an option. Someone who can come in off the bench, and that would surely be perfect for his first season trying to prove himself in the Premier League. It just to give us an alternative way of playing, and also not to mention, obviously, the additional European games. We're going to need a squad. 2 strikers, I think, would be absolutely perfect for us. Would take all of the pressure off of Antonio as well. He could go on an international trip without worrying about it, and we could not worrying about him going either, because, got to be honest, when he came back from those long flights, he looked knackered, didn't he? He looked knackered. It really took the heat out of his season last year. There's one more story I want to talk about, right? And this is not really a story; it's a moan, and that is about Declan Rice. So Dec, he returned to training today, and there were big pictures of him looking really happy, big grin on his face. There's been videos of him jumping around like a lunatic, really happy to be back, right? He's got a spring in his step. But he turned up with a Chelsea-coloured blue hat on. It's not a Chelsea hat, it's just that colour. Clutching a Chelsea-coloured blue bag. It's not a Chelsea bag, it's just that colour. You should have seen the meltdown on Twitter. Oh my God, you really should have seen the way people reacted to this. Really not good. Really a little bit pathetic. But, please don't react to stuff like that. He's wearing a blue hat. He's carrying a blue bag. Who cares? Anyway, that's it from me. Nick and John will be doing their shows later in the week. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Claret and Booze. Hit the like button and click the bell notification icon as well. Until next time, thanks for listening. See you soon and come on, you irons.